Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. It's so good to be with you here today. And I just want to show you my bed over here where the dahlias and the zinnias are. And the fact that the color is so important in the garden. And when you have a harmonious bed of color, that it just sparkles. It's just so beautiful and so attractive to the eye. And you can see the beauty of each plant and how they complement each other. So come with me as we explore and look at the color combinations here under the tree, and also look at the different types of flowers for late fall. Color is so important in the garden, and sometimes to make the garden more cohesive, it's kind of good to just stick with one color spectrum. And here I stayed with the pinks, the burgundies, you know, that burgundy color or shade, chartreuse. And what has happened is that I've gone down the different color spectrum. So I went from the very deep colors that you can see in the chrysanthemums to the light pink shade with the sun impatiens and all in between. And because of that, it just makes this bed very calm, very attractive, even down to the mulch being that brownish, almost deep kind of burgundy brownish color. Do you see that? Instead of using black mulch, this brown mulch. Yeah, it works well. And you could see that right here with this picture, because you could see the moms, the deep leaf of the sun impatiens, the flower of the sun impatiens, and also the dahlia, the color of the dahlia. And it's just very, very, very pretty. It's such a great blend. And then of course green, we can't forget green. Shades of green within it, which just adds to it. Even my pot adds a coloring as well, because it has that tinge of reddish, you know, that reddish brown. It's a deeper terracotta kind of color, and it looks really nice. Color is so important. Now that's totally different, that bed, than this bed. This bed, which is a hot color bed, and I'm glad that I put the yellow in there with this coleus. They're contrasting with one another, and it really pops. Now I did add the white to kind of calm it down a bit here, and that's because I also have the white impatiens in here in this bed, so it kind of gives your eye a rest. And then also because of the white grass in the back, yeah, the white variegated grass, it makes the colors come alive, and especially when the sun is shining on it, it's just like it's on fire. It's beautiful. What I'm really pleased with is the color of the purple perilla against the green. It just adds some variation there and contrast, instead of just being one massive green bed of leaves. And I love the leaf textures, don't get me wrong, but I also love the color as well. So it just helps to give that contrast. I like that. And then I tried to bring the color from this corner over here, that there, into the center to add it there, and then so that the garden doesn't look like it's just one, you know, mix of things, but rather that there's some harmony in it. I also mimicked the same thing on this bed. You could see the white variegated grass. You see the coleus and the sun patience. I did not bring any yellow to this patch here because I still want it to be unique and different. The elements of repetition and color in this bed as well. My voice might sound a little raspy. It's because it's early in the morning. But I love it when it's like this because you get to really see the color a lot more better. It's easier to see the color in the garden. I love zinnias in the garden, and I love this particular color. It just blends in so well with this bed, and it's not very expensive. I actually sowed the seeds and the zinnias came up, and it's really good because it just forms a little bit different from the dahlia, and when you look back at it, it gives some height in the garden. Hopefully it will continue to grow tall. And I just love how the dahlias are present with the heuchera there, and with my other lanium, which will actually have very nice pink, soft pink flowers in the spring. So I'm kind of setting it up for the spring as well. But right now also we have the sedum autumn joy, and the bees love the sedum autumn joy. So those are some of the plants that you can add to your fall garden to make it look alive and beautiful. And don't forget the foliage, as I did with the lanium, to make sure that, you know, if there's a balance in the bed. So good to be with you here today. It is just a beautiful day here in September, and it's amazing because it's going to be warm today. We experienced a little cold, but now it's starting to warm up. Today's going to be just a great sunny day, and it's a good day to be in the garden. And I just wanted to give you an update on my beets that I planted in my salad bowl. Well, I don't know if you were aware of the fact that I planted lettuce in this salad bowl. Yes, I did, and I'll put the link at the end of the video, so if you want to see that. And something came and ate my lettuce. But right now I have beets. Look at this. The beets are growing, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beets here. And I also sprinkled some carrot seeds in, and as you can see, the carrots are gaining a second leaf. You could also hear my tea kettle in the background. I'm going to have some tea after this. But I just wanted to show you this, how the carrot seeds are growing. And there have been some questions about carrots, and what I did was I just sprinkled the seeds slightly because they're very small, and then what I did was just press them into the soil and covered them very lightly, and they came up. Because the soil is warm and the days are warm, the carrot seeds responded very well to this planting. And then I also want to show you what's happening with the cucumber. look at this. These are the cucumber seeds. Now I'm going to have to make some choices and decide which ones I'm going to pull out, because I don't think I have enough time for all of them to grow. But look at that. They're gaining their second and even working on their third leaves. Isn't that fabulous? And look at the carrots. I planted these carrots in the bottom because you know that the cucumbers are going to probably die off with the first frost, but that the carrots will remain in the pot and they can stand the cold a little bit better. Now I don't know what this white stuff is, if that's powdery mildew, but whatever it is, we will deal with it and make sure that we keep our plants healthy. Let's take a look at the other pot. Look at this, an oak tree leaf. It means that fall is around the corner. Hopefully not too soon, but this pot is doing well also. There are not as many leaves, not as many cucumber plants in this one, so I think that I don't need to really weed this one out too much. Maybe one or two I'll pull out. Maybe this one here. Let me just pull it out now. That came out pretty easy. And that's going to make it possible for these others to grow up. So I think I'm finished with this one as far as weeding it out. And I'll continue to work on it. Well, that kettle is calling me, so let me go in and take it off, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and I just wanted to show you these nasturtiums. Now, I've had nasturtium plants that have grown that were very leafy. But this is the reverse. Instead of being leafy, I'm getting a lot of flowers here. And I'm thinking it's because the plant is a little stressed, so that's why it's producing the flowers, which is fine with me. And then you see the seeds? I'm going to allow the seeds to dry, and that will give me plants for next year, and I don't have to go out and buy. And I'll know that they're orange. And I love this color. It's so bright. And you know my garden is very green because it's part shade, part sun. And you know, I had planted some of these nasturtium seeds in different parts of the garden, and they seem to have flourished even in part shade. So I'm going to just drop these seeds all over the garden and let them trail and come and go as they wish in the garden. Yeah, I think that has been a wonderful experiment in planting nasturtiums. And then my mint seems to be happy too. It's almost like things are just coming alive again with the cooler temperatures in the evening. They're not drying out. They're getting a second wind. And finally, here, look at this. On the deck, my buddleia. Oh, and my other nasturtium. Now that was a gift. I think a seed fell in there and just started growing along with it. But look at that. That's a beautiful flower. It's about to have another one as well. And so with this buddleia, I'm going to, when it's complete, I'm going to let it seed a little bit. I don't know. I think what I'll do is cut off the flower after it's dried, and it looks like it wants to probably flower some more. I'm going to have to find a good place to put it in the garden, and so that it can come back next year, or figure out what I want to do next with it. But even my rose bush here is continuing to send out shoots, and looks like it wants to have another blooming session, which I'm happy with, especially if we have a mild October. It'll be nice to have some more flowers. And so let's take a quick look at the garden as a whole here, get an aerial view. Everything is looking really nice. My husband has been very faithful in helping me water the garden, keeping everything moist and lovely. And because of the fact that the garden's getting water at night and it's not being allowed to dry out, things are just blooming so well. Look at that. Soon we're not going to be able to enjoy these flowers. So I've decided to share this with you as much as possible. So bear with me. I can't keep it to myself. No, no, no. I can't keep it to myself. No, no, no. My joy. Yeah, my joy, my joy. I am just so pleased with this. I know I keep showing you the same thing over and over again, but I hope you see what's happening, how it's developing. It's just really beautiful. And each day, the chrysanthemums are opening up. You can really see the yellow, can't you? See the yellow chrysanthemum really well? Look at that. I just planted them a couple of days back, and I think they love this spot, and they are opening up. Hallelujah. Yep. And then my dahlias here. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah. I'm just so very pleased at how this bed turned out. And those chrysanthemums are just opening up, and the color scheme. Sometimes, we get very busy with our color schemes and we have too many different colors, but I'm glad that I stuck with the pinks, the burgundy shades in this bed. And color is so important. If you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. How are you handling your garden? Are you enjoying it? Or what is growing in your garden? Do you grow flowers? I also grow fruits and vegetables. I love it all. And I'm gaining more knowledge about vegetables. But it's good to experiment and to play with color, even with your flowers and your vegetables. Yeah, let your garden flourish, but also look attractive and be your signature. Yes. Yeah. What is your signature in your garden? And come on back to Catherine's garden and let's enjoy it together. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Today in Catherine's garden, I want to look at color and also look at my plants. I have some different potted plants in my vegetables that I'm growing. I want us to look at that. And then also I want to talk about the plums and what happened with my plums and the plum tree. So you can hear the birds chirping and just having a good old time. Yeah, they've been in the garden this morning, enjoying themselves. Well, if you enjoyed this little visit in my garden, and just looking at this tip as far as color combinations and arranging flowers so that they accent one another and bring out the best in one another, then leave a comment down below. Come and join me again in Catherine's garden. See you next time. Bye. So see you next time in Catherine's garden. Bye.